Good afternoon. I see that quite a few customers are starting to join today's session. I want to just say hello and welcome. We will be getting started at about 1 after the top of the hour, so hang tight. Good afternoon, everyone. We have customers still continuing to join in today's session, and we will give it a couple of more minutes. I just want to say welcome, and we will plan to get started at 1 after the hour. It is 2 p.m. on the dot here in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I'm joining everyone today. We are going to give it 1 more minute just to allow for some additional customers to join in. So we will get started here in just a minute. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amy Green. I am the VP of Marketing here with Cirrus Insight, and I want to welcome you to today's session. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the email blast functionality of the latest version of Cirrus Insight, and we are excited to share with you how we can help you to send communication at scale. We are going to jump in here in just a few minutes, and take you through the presentation. Myself, joined with Austin and Jacob, are here today. Austin's going to be taking us through a live demo of the functionality, and Jacob, along with myself, will be happy to take any questions that you have throughout the session today. With that, we'll get started with our first slide here. So I do want to, before we jump in, put forth our looking forward statement here and just reference that any buying decisions that you make on products, please make those on products that are available to you today. Some items that you see in today's presentation are still in beta or under development and are not generally available to the customer base as of yet. And we would like for you to make all of your buying decisions based on products that are readily available. We are also recording today's session. I know that's often a question that we get from most of our attendees, so I do want to make sure everyone is aware that we are recording and that everyone, including those who maybe could not attend live but did register for the event, will get a link to the registration via email. We try to get that out to you within 24 hours of the live event. We also encourage questions throughout the session. Please do not hesitate to ask a question. We will be using the Q&A portion of the Zoom webinar interface. So if you want to take a moment to locate that, it is located in the toolbar of Zoom. It is labeled Q&A, and Jacob and myself will be fielding those questions and answering them as we are able to. Some questions we'll try to hang for some live Q&A portion so that others can hear the question and the response to that question. But we will try to get to as many of those as we are able to. So what is Email Blast? For those that have not attended some of the previous sessions that we have held on Email Blast, Email Blast is a way to communicate at scale with customers and prospects directly from your inbox. It also provides buyer signals so that you can take action on activities that they're engaged with, whether it be an email that they opened, a link that they clicked on your website. So you know and understand how those contacts are engaging with you, and you can take the appropriate action based upon that. With Email Blast, you will have direct access to Salesforce fields, as well as both Lightning and Classic templates from Salesforce, and you can tailor those messages directly to your individual customers with a single send. Some of the recent updates that you're going to see with Email Blast in today's presentation include the ability to set reply to settings. This means that you can, upon sending of that email, have the reply to individual be notified and included of any recipient replies that may occur once the email is sent. The individual that you're setting up as the reply to is required to be a Cirrus Insight user. In addition to that, we have also added the ability to set up Salesforce campaigns as a recipient list. In past presentations that we've given around Email Blast, this was a common question that we had and request from customers. And so we listened to that request and implemented the functionality of being able to use that as a recipient list as well. We also have incorporated the ability to set up Cirrus Insight signatures. So this happens within the dashboard of Cirrus Insight and enables you to set those up so that you can use them on your Email Blast. You can also attach files using a URL. So if you're looking to attach some documentation to the Email Blast that you're sending out to a list of customers, you will be able to attach those and they will display as a URL within the email. We're also going to be taking a look at Email Blast analytics and how you can measure and increase your outreach and effectiveness. So things that you're going to see within the Email Blast analytics include the number of replies, opens, and link clicks that are received from a specific Email Blast. We're also going to be able to look at and filter a recipient list to target accounts based on those engagement metrics. So for example, if you're wanting to send a specific follow-up email based on the ones that did click on a link in the email. And then we're also going to be able to filter your list of previous Email Blast by engagement metrics and a status to be able to assess the performance of those. Last but not least, we also incorporated the ability to create a new recipient list from previous no reply recipients. So the ability to follow up with those that maybe were not engaged in the first communication that was sent out. And with that, I am going to pass it over to Austin. He is going to take us into a deep dive walkthrough of the functionality that we just discussed and beyond. And again, I encourage all of you to ask questions as you're looking at the product and capabilities, and Jacob and I would be happy to answer those questions as we're going along. Austin?
Thank you so much, Amy. I am Austin. I'm going to walk you guys through today all the great functionalities of Email Blast. And I want to start with taking a look at our dashboard. So we're going to do two different things here in the dashboard. The first thing I want to show you is from the admin point of view. So we're going to jump into our Cirrus Insight dashboard at home.cirrusinsight.com. We can go ahead, we can click admin so that we can look at the settings of Email Blast from this admin perspective. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this hamburger menu, jump down to sidebar and click general. And then I'm going to go to the Email Blast section of the settings. Now, within the settings of Email Blast here, we have the ability to control a couple different things. So obviously we can turn Email Blast off and on with an enable and disable toggle switch right here. We're going to have the ability to allow our users to modify this. So are they able to turn it off and on? They're not able to modify their individual settings underneath, but just enable the access or disable access to Email Blast within their sidebar. Next, we're going to take a look at our list sources. So these are the recipient list sources that we're able to send an email blast to. So by default, we have our list sources as build from a report, a list view, a campaign. We can upload a CSV, and we can even use a previous email blast. Now, from an admin perspective, say you would only want to have campaigns as your ability to have recipient lists. You can go ahead and you can X out the other ones and just have campaigns. Next, we can look at our throttle email blast sends per day. Now, this is per user, per org. And so within your organization, if you have any sort of governing body or limit that you would like to adhere to for each individual user of email blast, then you can set this number. So each user within your organization, in this example, would only be allowed to send 100 emails per day. You're allowed to set that limit and allow your users to send out as many or as little emails as you want per day. So I can send 100 on Monday, 100 on Tuesday, but I cannot send out 200 on Monday or Tuesday. And with that, these are the admin settings. We can also go into an individual view and toggle email blast on and off, and also set individual throttle amounts per user within our admin settings as well. But from here, we're going to jump over to our user sidebar, or excuse me, our user dashboard. And we're going to go take a look at something called Cirrus Signatures. Now, Cirrus Signatures is a new feature that we've just added that allows us to add a custom email signature to our email blasts. We can create multiple custom signatures, and we can add them in our email blast sidebar view within our email inbox. So we can go ahead here and we can create a custom signature. So I'll go ahead and type out my name, and I'll add my job title as well. And if I wanted to add maybe my email within this signature, then I can add that as well, so that my users can also have a quick look at the signature and see that my email is within there as well. So we can go ahead and save this. We're going to name our signature. We'll call this one email signature with email. Perfect. We'll go ahead and save that. And now this is going to be our signature that we are allowed to use and embed within our email blast. Now from here, let's go ahead and jump over to our inbox and our sidebar so that we can see what it's like to use email blast. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the Cirrus Insight sidebar. And by default, it'll be on this people tab right here, but we'll go ahead and we'll click the email blast icon at the top. Now, from the default view of email blast, we'll have all the email blasts that we've created or have been assigned to us and go from there. If we take a look at underneath each email blast, they'll have some sort of label. This one is assigned. This one is in draft state. This one is success. And if it's sending out, then it'll say sending now. Now from here, we can go ahead and create an email blast. So we'll go ahead and click create email blast, and we'll jump into adding recipients. So one of the first things that we want to do is make sure that we have our recipient pool and send out the email blast to all the correct recipients that we want to receive this. And let's say, for example, we sent out a previous email blast and we're trying to prospect with some new clients or customers. Well, maybe a couple of those customers or prospects responded and maybe a couple of them didn't. So what we can do is we can select a previous email blast, and then we can filter this. So we can look at all the recipients here. Okay, looks good. Now let's filter it and select those recipients that did not reply. So it's automatically going to create a list of all the recipients that did not reply to the original email blast. But say we wanted to communicate with the ones who did reply, then all we do is select those who replied. And within this, it will have the contacts that replied. So we'll go ahead and select did not reply so that we can send them a follow-up email and then allow them a chance to email us back and maybe catch us at a better time. So we'll go ahead and insert those recipients. And now you'll see underneath the recipients, we have that reply to section. So if I want to notify somebody within my organization that uses Cirrus Insight when the recipient responds to my email blast, then I can just type in their name or email right here. And they will receive that reply from the recipient to my email blast. We won't go ahead and add anybody, but that is what that field does right here. Next, we're going to choose a template. Now, we're going to pull these templates from Salesforce. We support Lightning and Classic templates. And so what we're going to do is create a template within Salesforce, and then we're going to be able to pull it into our sidebar right here. So let's use prospecting template 1. Excellent. Now you'll see from the template, it actually pulled over that subject line. But say we want to change the subject line and say, have you heard about email blast? Let's type that out. Have you heard about email blast? Okay, so that's going to be our new subject. That's going to be the subject line that our recipients will receive within this email. Now, see under here, we have the ability to attach a file from a URL. If we click this, then we can enter in our URL like a Dropbox or Google Drive link. So we have that share link that we just inserted, and we can also have some hyperlink text, so it doesn't just show the URL. But if you don't want to add text, then that will be the default state. It will show the URL as a clickable link. So we'll just type in email blast form as our clickable text here. Next, we're going to name our email blast. Now, this is going to be our internal name for our reference only. This will not be recipient facing. So no customers will see this name. This is just for your purposes, so you can stay organized within your sidebar. Let's name this email blast prospecting email number 2. Perfect. Now, when it comes down to when to send, we have 2 options here. We can either send it immediately just by toggling on or off, or we could even select a date to send this out for future time. So say I want to send this out first thing in the morning, but maybe I don't want to wake up that early because I live in a different time zone. Then what I can do is I can select that date that I'd like to send it out. So we'll send it out tomorrow morning, and then we'll send it out maybe at 7 a.m. that morning. So 7 a.m. Perfect. Now this email blast will be scheduled and sent out at 7 a.m. to this list of recipients, and I won't have to wake up early and send it out myself, which is great. Now, if we take a look at these advanced options here within the sidebar, we'll have 2 separate advanced options. So we have notify on send and then assign email blast. Notify on send is as simple as it sounds. If I want to notify somebody within my organization that I'm sending out this email blast, then I can go ahead and type in their name and select them right here. So now Amy will receive an email notification that I am going to send out this email blast when it gets sent out. Now, this is different from the reply to section up here because Amy's not going to receive any notifications when recipients respond, but she will just receive the notification that I'm sending out this email blast. Now, if we look at the assign email blast section, I have the ability to assign this email blast to another person. So maybe I wanted to assign it to Amy. Then Amy would have the ability to send this email blast out from her sidebar. If I assign this to Amy, then I do not have the ability to send it out. She has to review it and confirm and send it out from her sidebar. As when we assign an email blast, it is being sent out from the assignee's email servicer. So it'll be sent out from Amy's Gmail and from her email address. But I went through the process of creating it for her to review. What that looks like is something like this. So I'll receive this email here, and it says you're receiving this email because you have been assigned to review an email blast. Has some data in here. And if I actually jump over to email blast, then I can see the email blast that have been assigned. So customer training session, perfect. This is the email blast that's assigned. If I wanted to send it, then I can click schedule send, or I have the option to reject it. We can type in a field here. We'll say too long. We want a shorter template or shorter text for our recipients. And we reject that. And now the person that assigned that email blast to me will receive a notification that I rejected the email blast, and they can go ahead and edit. And now it's labeled as rejected. Let's jump back into our original email blast that we were just editing so that we can take a look at what comes next. So back to our email blast tab, go ahead and select email blast prospecting template number 2, or email number 2, excuse me. And we can go ahead and review the content. Take a look at this content. It looks pretty good, but you know what? I think I want to add one more line down here at the bottom and say, give me an email or give me a call sometime and we can talk about it. Have a call to action at the bottom of this email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out after reviewing this template, and I'm going to jump back over to my Salesforce. So within my email templates here, I'll go ahead and select prospecting template number 1 because that's the one that we were just using. Go ahead and select the edit button. And from here, I'm going to say, give me a call to talk about email blast. And we can go ahead and we'll save that one. Perfect. Now, when we jump back over to our email blast, we'll reselect the template. So choose a template here, prospecting template number 1. And now when we review our content, you can see that it already edited live feed right from Salesforce into our Cirrus Insights sidebar, which is great. Now I'm going to back out of here real quick and unassign this email to Amy so that way I can show you how to use Cirrus signatures. We're going to jump back to review content. And now we have this button right here that says use email signature. So if I select use email signature, then I have the ability to set up my email signature again if I already haven't done that. So if I select this, it will take me to my Cirrus Insight dashboard again, right to the Cirrus signatures page. And I can go ahead and I can create a new Cirrus signature. And maybe I want to type in, thanks so much. And we'll just add that to the bottom of the signature as well, right? So we can say, save this one, and we'll have it as thank you signature. Perfect. Now, when we jump back over to our email blast here, and we use our email signature, we can then select which signature we want to include. So because I have 3 already in here, we're going to select this email signature with email in it. Now we're going to review it one more time, make sure everything looks good. See that we have our Salesforce merge field right here. Looks great. I'm going to send a test email because I want to make sure it looks appropriate for all my recipients. So I'm going to send that test email. And as soon as I jump over to my inbox, my test email will be right there. So let's click test email. Excellent. So it says, hey, Austin, that's our Salesforce merge field. It's working great. And you can see that I have my Cirrus signature right here. And my attachment is right here at the very bottom of that email. So that looks great. We'll jump back over to our email blast and we can go ahead and schedule send that for tomorrow morning. Currently in that draft state, review content and schedule send. Perfect. Now our email blast is going to send out tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and it will be on the way. And now we can see here the label changed to scheduled. Now that is going to complete our walkthrough of email blast. I'm going to jump back over to this presentation here. I'm going to hand it back over to Amy and we can start discussing what other questions or anything there might be. So thank you guys so much for allowing me to give you that deep dive walkthrough. And Amy, the presentation is now yours.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate that walkthrough. Do you mind actually popping back over into your sidebar for just one moment? We had a question pertaining to how the steps that we take to set up the notify on send, and was wondering if you could just take us back through that one more time. So on the email blast, the ability to assign, notify another user that email blast has occurred.
Absolutely. So if we're in our email blast bar here and we select the email blast that we've been working on, so we'll find one that's in a draft state. At the bottom, we have advanced options down here. So when I select those advanced options, I can type in Amy's name. And I still have the ability to send it out on my side. So I can go ahead and I can send this email out to all my recipients, but Amy will be notified right here when that email blast is sent out. Does that help answer the question okay?
Wonderful. Thank you for taking us through that. We also had a couple of questions just regarding the signatures. So the ability to set up multiple signatures, and then you can select the one from the dropdown. And those are just your signatures as a user, not org-wide signatures. So just wanted to clarify that. And let's see, we've got a few other questions coming in here, so we're going to field those. But as we do that, if you could pop back over to the presentation, Austin, I do have a couple of things I just want to go through with the group. One of those is that if you are not currently using Email Blast and would like to try it out, we do actually have a beta program going for customers, and we'd love to have you join us. It's a great way for you to test out the functionality, get an understanding for some of the steps that Austin took us through today in the deep dive. And so if you are interested in that, we've put a QR code up here. You can take a quick snapshot of this QR code and it will take you to a form. And if you complete that form, we will get you connected so that we can get you started in that beta program. So definitely encourage all of you to do that if you have an interest in that. And with that, I'm going to go through a couple more questions that we have here. We're going to try to answer these, as many of them as we can. And let's see here. So one question we have is the subscription plan for Email Blast. So Email Blast is a part of our Expert Plus plan. Folks can visit our pricing page on our website where we have all of the information regarding the plans today. I will pop that into the chat to everyone as well if you have any interest in exploring what the plans look like and where Email Blast can be found. Encourage you to take a look at that. One other question that we had is on the ability to utilize Salesforce campaigns as a recipient list and what filter options we have, and if we can filter the campaigns by status. That's great feedback. Currently, you can only filter it by my campaigns or all campaigns, and then you can filter it by the name. Although we certainly can take back some feedback on being able to look at it by campaign status as well. Thank you for that question. See. Thank you all for all of your continued questions. We will continue to try to get all these answered as they're coming through. One person asked on the buyer signals information in terms of being able to look at if a contact has opened, clicked a link, or replied to an email. So that is currently displaying at the individual contact level for the email blast, so that you can see the person that actually conducted that activity with that email that you sent out to them. Right. So please keep the questions coming. We're happy to answer those. If you could take us to the next slide, Austin, like to share with everyone that we also have another form here with a QR code. We would love to get your feedback. So as you are progressing through the webinar today, and we'll also send the recording to it, we'd love for you to provide us with any feedback that you have on what you've seen in today's presentation, whether it be from a product standpoint or if there are other things that you would like to see. We would love to get that feedback. So if you snapshot this QR code or access the link provided there, it will take you to a form where we are happy to gather all of your feedback. Also, several folks have asked about, will we get the recording for today's session? Absolutely. So if you joined late and did not see my message at the beginning of the session, we will be sending everyone the link to this recording, and you will get that recording link following today's live session. We try to send it within 24 hours of the live event, so you should expect to get it sometime tomorrow via email. So a lot of folks have asked about the ability to set up a CC. So by default, within creating the email blast, there's not a CC functionality as it traditionally would be known when you're just sending an email through your inbox directly. However, we have set up the two mechanisms of being able to set up a notification on send. So setting up a user to be notified that the email blast has gone out, or setting up another Cirrus Insight user as a reply to recipient, which means that they not only get copied on it, but they also get all of the replies. So that would probably be your best option if you're looking to have that individual both notified about it and also getting all of the replies to that email blast. I hope that helps to answer that question. Thank you guys for all of these great questions. Also, again, if you are looking to assign an email blast to someone, that user will have to be set up as a Cirrus Insight user. So you do want to make sure that if you are trying to assign an email blast to another individual within your org, they do have to be a user in the application in order for you to do that. We had another question about the ability to make edits to the templates. So right now we are supporting Classic and Lightning templates. So those templates can get edited and changed within Salesforce today. And we do hope to have plans to offer the ability to create a Cirrus Insight templates at some point, and then also be able to edit those. Right now we do support both the Lightning and the Classic, and you can utilize all of the merge fields that can be incorporated into those two template types. These are great questions. I hope everyone will continue to submit their questions, and we'll try to get those answered as quickly as we can. Looks like we do have some customers that are in a process of looking to upgrade to the latest version of Cirrus Insight. That's great. We are excited to see that you are progressing through that process and looking for some additional tutorials and assistance. And if there are certain things that you would like to see specific sessions on, we'd love to get your feedback on that. So feel free to submit those in to us, via the feedback form, or you're welcome to email me. I'm happy to provide my email address. We'd love to get any additional topics that you're interested in. Please send those to us. All right, great questions here. Many are asking about, for the use of the Cirrus Insight signatures, the ability to add a logo or image to that. Currently, we are looking at getting that functionality added into the widget that is there for creating those signatures. Right now, it does not include that capability. You can use the signatures that you have set up within your email inbox as well, but we would like to get that set up so that you can add your image and logo there as well. All right. Thank you all for your questions, for continuing to get those answered for you. Please let me know if there's any other questions that folks have. You can type those in. We'll hang back for a few more moments. If you do have any of those questions, be glad to get those answered. And again, we are recording the sessions. We'll make sure everyone gets the link. So we have a question here on where we create the templates in Salesforce. So within Salesforce, they have a email templates object that you can navigate to, and within there you can create the templates. Depending on how your org is set up, most orgs can use both Lightning and Classic templates depending on how you're looking to create those. Some orgs may also have some different permission setup where templates have to be approved within the org. So just be aware of that. It varies by org. So we have a question here about the buyer signals and sort of how we see those set up on the email blast that's sent out. So once you set up your email blast to go out, then you're going to be able to start to see some aggregate numbers of activity. When you click on that, you'll be able to look at the individual contact that actually engaged with that activity on the email blast that was sent out. You do not necessarily have to click into every email, though. I believe that was one question that we had. Right, so I do not see any other open questions coming through. Again, we can hang back for another minute or two. Want to thank everybody for joining us for today's deep dive. We hope that you'll take the opportunity to both fill out the product feedback form and engage in the beta program if you're interested in that. And we hope to see you on a future session. All right, with that, thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Thank you so much for joining. See you soon.